Departing Qantas CEO Alan Joyce has been criticised for the perks he'll receive after stepping down from the top job. The 57-year-old is set to benefit from $2 million worth of free flights for the next 2 decades, as well as more than $3 million worth of bonuses this year. That's on top of $125 million he's earned during his 15-year tenure. Aviation bodies are calling for the airline's board, to review Mr Joyce's perks as it attempts to shake off criticism to charge customers for ghost flights. And joining us live for more on this is aviation expert Keith Tonkin. Keith, thank you so much for your time. What do you make of these perks? Should they be reviewed, given the way the brand has been so damaged in recent months?
It's nice to be with you. Yeah, that's certainly worth having a think about, and no doubt there'll be others in the organisation that'll be very carefully scrutinising how Mr Joyce is being rewarded for what really is a very disappointing end to his long tenure as the CEO.
Do you suspect that we're going to see Australians start to boycott Qantas?
I don't know if boycotting is the right word to use, but I guess the commentary at the moment is that a lot of people are disappointed with what it's doing, how it's treating its customers and its staff over a few years now. And I think some of the money is going elsewhere. So people are talking with their feet rather than the boycotting per se. And the airline's got a lot of work to do to win their customers back, I think.
Yeah, another revelation this week is that the Qantas Frequent Flyer points are so devalued that the same number of points that would have once flown you first class to London will now buy you a coffee maker. Is that going to help? It's not going to help with loyalty, is it?
Well, I think some of that analysis probably reflects on a long time ago versus now, and inflation would take into account some of the changes in the value that you get for those points. But I guess it's one of those things that while you get the points and while you can do something with them, they're of some value, and people will also be looking around to see what other frequent flyer programs there are and if there's better benefits elsewhere.
Yeah, I suppose the new CEO, Vanessa Hudson, has a big challenge ahead of her. How can she win back passengers?
Well, I think it's about customer service, putting the customer at the centre of what you're thinking about and making sure that you're satisfying them by being responsive and answering the phone call when people want to sort out a problem. And I think that's really what's been most disappointing for most people, is that when they do strike a little bit of trouble, that they can't seem to get someone to talk to sort it out. And that's at the heart of operating and supporting your customers and having them want to buy seats on your aeroplanes.
What's your assessment of the federal government's decision to reject Qatar Airways and their bid to increase their flight capacity? Do you expect that we'll see more competition in the sector down the track?
Well, I think that the reasons for rejecting the application are a little bit murky, and we're still trying to work it out, really, what's at the heart of the reason. And I know that there's an inquiry about to get underway to try and work that out. I think we'd all like to know that there's more competition and more seats available for people to travel internationally, because the fares are too high at the moment, and competition will bring those prices down. So we're looking forward to that.
We certainly are. Can we get your advice? When do you think we're going to see those prices come down?
Well, I think domestically we're seeing numbers return to a pre-COVID sort of situation, but internationally we're not quite there, and generally it's expected that by the end of next year we'll be back to having the same sort of numbers of aircraft taking off and landing. And then it's a matter of if the oil price returns to normal, because it's quite high at the moment, and some of the other drivers of costs are causing those fares to be higher than they were previously, and we probably won't return to those just because of the inflationary environment we're in. But more competition will bring those prices down.
Aviation expert Keith Tonkin, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thank you.